What's up, guys? I guess I should say congratulations for your sign up. I think it's awesome what you're doing. And this video is for, the people who are just getting started, to kind of talk about some focuses that I believe are important in the beginning, right? So let's talk about them. I think number one, foundational kind of belief to cultivate is that dissatisfaction is a healthy creative state. Okay, I think that's got to be number one. This is something my mentor, my first coaching program I went through, taught on heavily. And I will tell you, it's an integral piece to anybody who's seeking more in their life, be it success, money, business, whatever your goal is. A healthy dose of dissatisfaction, I believe, is required. Some people have that contorted in their mind. And so I guess why I'm talking about it is, well, I'll just share how Bob pitched it to me, my coach. He said, Grandma used to say that you should be satisfied with what you've got, right? And he said, Grandma was wrong. He went and hung out with successful people. And he learned the same lesson I learned, which is we should never be happy, or we should never be satisfied. Happy, but not satisfied, right? There's a whole difference there. You should still be happy. You don't want to be miserable, right? But not being satisfied. And so that ties to the point, guys, that when it comes to a health and fitness process, and that's your goal, is to get into good shape and stay there, hopefully. Understanding that there's no end. I think a lot of people, the reason they are part of that 95% failure statistic is because deep down they have some kind of belief that once I get to 50, I can coast, right? I can stop. Once I get to 50 pounds down, I'm good, right? And that's a belief system that we've probably inherited from our parents, our grandparents, our neighbor, our babysitter, right? And so I just thought, talking about some foundational beliefs to get set in our mind before we really embark on this journey would be so helpful to you guys, because I know how helpful it's been to me. So hopefully you're getting a lot from this. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. Bob said, my grandmother was an angel sent from heaven, but Grandma was wrong. I should not be satisfied. Happy, but never satisfied. Guys, dissatisfaction is a healthy thing. It's a creative state. Think about it. It took us from the cave and put us into the condo. This phone that I'm taking this wonderful video on came from a healthy dose of dissatisfaction. We were tired of always sending things in mail and relying on birds and all that chaos, right? Someone was sitting on a rock with their knees up into their chin. And there came the birth of the chair, right? So dissatisfaction is okay. I'm giving you permission to be happily dissatisfied. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. And sometimes misery is a built-in motivator. You guys, a lot of people who sign up come from a doctor visit where they got some bad news. I don't want that to be you. So understanding that there is no finish line, guys. I have a physique that I'm proud of, but I can always learn to be more flexible, have better range of motion, be more athletic, get stronger, have better balance, improve my overall health metrics, my blood, all of that stuff. Okay. What about spiritual growth? What about strengthening your mindset, that inner growth? Right? Strengthening your IQ, your EQ, all of those things, okay? So your inner peace, mental health, all of that. There is no end. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk on with this short video, and just giving a little bit longer content. Again, it doesn't really matter what I say, it's what can you guys take from it. Okay, that's the main thing. That's why this video is in your hands right now. I think another thing to contrast that would be, we got to know what our biggest problem is. What is the origin of problem in our life? Well, my mentor taught me that it is knowledge, study, and understanding. A lack of knowledge, study, and understanding, right? Ignorance. The polar opposite of study, knowledge, and understanding is ignorance, not knowing, right? He goes farther into saying, it's not what you know, it's what you know that ain't so that's causing the problem. Okay? So think of that. We don't know what we don't know. So the first step is getting the right information. Step 2 is having the accountability. So that's what your coaching call is for. And then the goal is to convert that into inspiration. So you're not like the remaining 95% of the people who are failing, where they're not learning anything, you know, and they're relying on motivation instead of inspiration. Those are two polar opposite deals, guys. Relying on motivation is where most beginners are. And that's like relying on the weather. Can you see that? It's fleeting, it's external. Okay, relying on motivation is like relying on the weather. That's a dumb game, you know, and everybody thinks that's what they need. They need the motivation. They don't need motivation. They need information. They need some accountability, and the goal is to turn that to inspiration. The difference between inspiration and motivation is inspiration is an inside belief that, wow, when I drop 10 pounds and I've studied and learned how to get there, now I believe I can do 40 pounds, right? So do you see how that newfound belief is what creates an inspired state versus a motivated state? There are going to be weeks where you're motivated. There's going to be weeks where you're not motivated. But you can still win regardless. And that's with information, accountability, and once you're inspired, guys, you're close to graduating. Like, the goal is to not need me, right? That's the goal. So I want you guys to use it up. Ask powerful questions on those calls that you're going to be having with me. And don't hesitate to ask for more support. Okay? It's okay to be dissatisfied. It's a very healthy thing. That's what makes everything grow in life. Dissatisfaction, and understand there's no end to it. There's no finish line. You're always going to find some new thing that you could get involved in. Be it a cycling club, you know, competing in some kind of a athletic event, a marathon, sports events, volleyball, martial arts, okay, yoga, mountain climbing. I mean, the list goes on, guys. Being a homesteader, where you're lifting bags of mulch and moving dirt and gardening and all that, there's so many ways to make this into a complete lifestyle where it highlights the things that you're interested in. Okay, and really changing and saying, because that's the truth, guys, it's so much harder to stay where you are than to just go and get the damn success that you can't live without, right? I'll tell you that. So much harder to not have the confidence, right? When you walk into a room and you take care of yourself, people notice. People don't even have to say anything. They don't have to hear you talk. They can look at your figure, look at your physique, look at the way you present yourself, and know, man, that guy or gal takes care of themselves, and you have respect without doing anything. It helps you in the boardroom, you know? So I just think, and that comes from a video. I don't even know who the influencer was, but when he was asked in an interview, what's your first principle in business that you believe in? He said, fitness. Right? Fitness. It's and the interviewer was kind of like shocked by it. He said, what the hell do you mean fitness? He said, no, it's quite simple, really. If I can't control my body, what can I control? You know? And that was the thing he said. He's like, when I show up, people can tell I take care of myself. And so I get the respect, I get the opportunities, you know? It's the first thing we can control every day is our body weight, how we look, our energy levels. And really, guys, that's I think the last thing I could end on with this video is talking about the law of cause and effect. Okay, that's what my mentor Bob taught me. He said there are rules to life, and you could be the sweetest person in town, and you could say, oh, but I didn't know, too bad. You lose. You could be the nicest, sweetest person in the world. If you're not following the rules, the penalty is going to be exacted on you regardless of how nice you are or how smart you think you are, right? By their fruits you shall know them, right? Learn from successful people, guys. I'm successful with this stuff. I've changed my health. I've changed my physicality, the way I look, the way I feel, right? Learn from successful people. So cause and effect. Some people think they're just genetic rejects. Well, it was my dad was overweight, so I just am too, right? But nobody ever stops and thinks, how did we learn to eat? Who did we learn to eat from? Probably our parents, right? You probably learned to eat from your mom and pop. And those habits were passed down. If you don't like the results you're getting, get the right information, change your beliefs. You might believe that you're just kind of screwed. You've just been dealt a crap hand. And no matter how hard you try, everything you've tried, you can't win. Well, that's not true. You might want to reevaluate your belief system. And that's what I'm here to do as your coach, is to get you to see things kind of through my eyes, right? If you start to do things right, you will start to win. You will start to get the results that you can't live without, okay? Cause and effect. Every effect has a cause, and every cause has an effect. If we are willing to participate in following the rules, you can't lose, guys. Being overweight and obese is basically, I mean, not to get too spiritual on you, but gluttony is a sin. Many of you have probably heard that. And let's dissect that a little bit, okay? Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. But yeah, I mean, gluttony is a sin. Let's look at that, okay? Gluttony is just taking more than your share. Okay, so a lot of people who have overweight problems, they're, sick, unhealthy, they're overweight, they're obese. They just have a habit in their life of taking more than their share. Okay? And what is sin? Well, my mentor Bob taught me that sin is just transgression of the law. We're breaking the rules, right? And so if we want a blessed body and to feel good and have a good figure and to be skinny and trim and to have a healthy body, number one, we have to set it up so we're not paying the price of gluttony, because we know it's a sin. We just have to set up our lifestyle where we can be within our means, okay? And then the second thing to that is, this body likes to be used, guys. Why do we feel we deserve a perfectly in shape body when we never use it? We're sedentary. We sit at a desk all day. And then when we get home, we talk about how tired we are and we haven't done anything. Okay, you're underestimating yourself every second of every day. I can assure you. You can always do more. And that's part of that dissatisfaction thing, guys. This body loves to be used. Sure, you might be sore the first day, but guess what? It's going to get easier. You have the ultimate homeostatic machine, this vehicle that we call our body. It is made to adapt to ridiculous situations. Okay, so test yourself. Don't go out and kill yourself, but start slow and just slowly ease into it, and you'll be amazed at what you can do. I promise you. So I hope this short video found you well. Just some, I think, beginner logic to have in your head, some data to be armed and equipped with to move forward. So again, I hope this short video finds you well. And as always, in order to change, we must change, guys. Thanks a lot. Be great.